And we are live, everyone. Thank you for joining me on this Tuesday. My name is Steve Goodman, Training Coordinator at Protected Trust. And joining us for the second time today is Justyn Evans, Senior Solutions Architect for Protected Trust. One of our senior solutions.
Yes. Thank you.
So this live stream is going to be a little bit different. We have a live stream that's going to be happening instead of Thursday at 2:30, it's going to be happening this week, Friday at 12. And it's going to be filmed at the Chamber of Commerce, and it's going to be a big deal. And so instead of doing it on Thursday, we're focusing a lot of our efforts on just getting that thing ready for Friday.
It's kind of a big deal, indeed.
It is a big deal.
That's great.
I'm a big deal.
You are. I'm sold.
But anyway, what we do today is you recently came back from I don't want to say a trip, but a boot camp, a schooling, a learning session that was from Microsoft. And so I thought it'd be a good idea to let people know that we're constantly learning, we're constantly going through courses with Microsoft, and we're constantly being up to date. So starting with you going to this Azure Bootcamp, just I don't know where you want to start. Let us know what that experience
we certainly
is
have
like.
to, Steve. The way this technology, it's just blow right by you if you blink. We got to us being a Microsoft partner. We got an invitation for 2 slots to send a couple of engineers to this Azure Bootcamp, and that Microsoft holds at their Microsoft office in Alpharetta. Beautiful area. We had great weather. It was awesome. But yeah, it was 3 days of basically 8-hour classes where we got some good just knowledge-based info, general overview of Azure. Of course, there's way too much to go into for 3 days, but squeezed a lot in as far as just going over a lot of the different features and everything you can do with Azure. A lot of hands-on labs. It was basically a BYOD class, bring your own device.
Okay.
So everybody had their laptops, and we got to sign up and go and get an Azure subscription. I had a $100 limit and go to town with the labs. Our instructor was Jeff Wagner, who was really knowledgeable and a great instructor.
If you were to go back, you would say, I want to go to Jeff's class.
I certainly
again.
would. Mm-hmm. I certainly would. I thoroughly enjoyed it. It's got a lot to bring to the table for the beginner and intermediate skill set. If you're kind of at that expert level, very very knowledgeable with Azure, you probably could still walk away with something. There's a lot to go over, and we had a lot of variety of skill levels within the class, which was nice, and you kind of get to feed off those other people that are there that are around your skill level, and kind of learn about situations and things that have arisen with clients that they've dealt with and implemented into Azure. And it was great interaction. The class is about 30 people, and it was great. They included breakfast and lunch, and and it was really good.
But not dinner?
No dinner.
They left
us to fend for ourselves on that. No, it was really good. And the Microsoft office up there in Alpharetta is it's an amazing office. Their coffee machine was wow. I mean,
you remember to take only a few pictures, but when you did,
right.
It was of that coffee.
I was looking for the start button on the touch screen, but it just wasn't there. I was like, come on, Microsoft.
Are they like, you just say coffee and it does?
Right.
Nothing quite like that yet?
Exactly.
Well, you mentioned that you did several labs. Any one specific one that pops out at you that you'd like to share with us?
Wow.
Or maybe I should narrow down the question.
Yeah, I mean, it's nothing really that stuck out because I was really just soaking it all in, even when we were going over things that I've already had some experience with. Mm-hmm. It was still good to just go through it and have that instructor, and we had another Microsoft engineer that was typically hanging out in the room with us most of the time, and it was great to go through those things and just find those little tidbits and corners that we may not have experienced or dealt with in the past, and have them to ask questions or bring up a certain situation or scenario, and get some really good feedback.
So was it mostly things that you never tackled before or come across before, or was it an even blend of things that you've it's like, oh, here's a new way of doing this specific thing?
It was an even blend. They went through backups and site recovery, which is something I'm very familiar with in the Azure world. We went into a lot of the security center and all the different types of security and logging you can do, which definitely really broadened my horizons on what Azure is capable of as far as monitoring goes. And again, I mean, that was just that's a small piece of all of that's a small piece of what Azure can do and bring to the table for clients. And so yeah, it was a really good even balance, I feel, with it. And even with some of the labs that we had, there was even a little bit of downtime as we were doing labs or finishing up labs that we even had time to speak with the our instructor and the other Microsoft engineer that was there as well, to just throw out any kind of scenarios or questions we had of real world implementations of problems or anything like that we were dealing with clients, and get some really good feedback on that as well. So it was a great experience overall. Yeah.
So not just the labs, but also did they give you kind of a what's going on what's going to be coming down the pike in the future?
Yes, we actually got quite a bit of information of what's coming down the pipeline, as far as, I mean, anywhere from 30 days to a few months toward the end of the year. And I definitely learned quite a few things there myself regarding that. And the great thing about Azure, it's great and a little challenging. Azure is changing constantly, but for the better. It's always there's a lot being added to it. There's a lot being modified to be easier and faster and all that good stuff. So it it really was very knowledgeable in that aspect. And on top of that, they even went over throughout the entire 3 days. There are situations that would come up or things we were talking about that they would let us know if you're wanting to become an Azure certified Microsoft professional. Things that will help you out for the certification test. And we got a lot of good sources of information as far as practice and really good videos and sources like that are really come to help out with studying and taking that test.
So the last time you were on, you did kind of a deep dive into Azure backups, right? Anything that you learned from this particular boot camp that knocks away some of what you? Is the live stream that we shot for Azure Bootcamps, is that still valid? Is that still something?
Yes, very very much so. But what's even great is within the next I think 30 to 45 days, they're really adding some pieces to Azure that help migrating and your current infrastructure into Azure, and as far as what to look for as far as your backups and the site recovery and DR implementation you can do with Azure. There's even some more changes coming with that very soon that's going to make that process a heck of a lot easier, and just add more features to the entire set of backups and site recovery for that, which is great because we even have a few implementations of that coming up. So it was like perfect timing.
So it makes it a lot easier for you to deploy, make changes, and for the end user, it's all seamless because they're not seeing the back end, the monster that is Azure.
Yes, exactly.
Although when you first look at the portal, you're like, oh, okay, there's a lot of icons, but then when you actually delve into it, you're like, there's so many things,
which is great. It can seem a little overwhelming, but when you have the functionality that is in Azure now, and that it keeps improving on, and what you can do with it, not just limited to a certain set of options and configurations. It's great to know we have that leverage and expandability to really get down to the nitty gritty of how we want it to set up and how we want things to run within Azure. So it was definitely.
Will you be going back next year?
I would like to, yeah. I mean, and we probably may need to. I mean, it could have that much more in Azure and that much more to build upon, with all the experience that we'll be getting and learning just over the next year with everything we're doing with Azure. So
yeah, I mean, you were telling me just before the live stream that your instructor was even telling you how fast the products are coming out, and that they have to keep the certification exams. They're keeping them more up to date because they're just coming out with so many things, and it's becoming really hard to study for these certification exams.
Yes, they're changing. They change the test questions every 90 days now, and there's a lot of internal bouncing back and forth to really get the questions that they're putting into the test now to be more based off your experience and not just memorization. They really want, excuse me, they really want the people who are going for these certifications to really know and at the same time learn as they're getting the knowledge that they need to get through and pass these certifications.
They want the Justyn Evanses. Evanses?
How
do you pluralize your last name? Am I close?
Yeah, that's a whole other topic in itself.
They want you taking. They want someone like you taking the exam, not just someone who took the introductory course.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. It's but yeah, I mean, and even some of the students we had there that were, I mean, straight out of coming into Azure brand spanking new, hardly having any knowledge or not even really ever interacting with it. I felt like it was really good introductory to what it can do for them as well, and they I felt that by the end of the class they definitely had a lot more to walk away with and to help sell and push how important and how much of an advantage moving to Azure can be.
So these are people who are working or are used to working with their internal server, right? And then maybe they haven't even seen Office 365 before. Were those type of people in the class, or was it they just moved to Office 365 and they're looking to utilize Azure?
Yeah, I would say most of the class, if not all, seemed fairly familiar with the whole Office 365 concept, and probably just about all of them were already utilizing that within their companies and with their clients and what have you. And yeah, some of them were just getting into the Azure world to really start moving to the cloud, or whether it's for them internally or clients. And they really just like what's the term I was looking for?
I don't know.
I lost it. Sorry about that.
Well, thank you so much for joining us today. Any final words for the people at home?
If you ever do get the chance to do an Azure Bootcamp, especially for free, definitely jump at it. It's
pretty
well worth
pricey.
it.
Yeah,
there are different variations of the Azure Bootcamp out there. There's 3-day classes, 4-day courses, 5-day courses, and some variations on what you can learn. Some include test vouchers for the certifications as well. But yeah, if you, I'm not sure exactly what constitutes you be able to get an invitation for a free slot, but if it comes, definitely take advantage of it, because you can definitely walk away with a lot smarter in the Azure world for that. Yep.
So hopefully the goal was to show everyone at home, I guess not a day in the life, but a weekend in the life, or was it all week?
It was Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
A week in the life,
basically.
Half a week in the life.
Yes.
One of our solutions architects, and just showing how difficult the scope is, and how hard it is to wrap your head around everything that's going on. There's so many updates that you have to keep track of. So appreciate Evan. Or no, Justyn. Evans. I always do that. Evan is the other guy.
It's all convoluted.
Appreciate Justyn more than I do. Remember his name at least. But okay, so thank you.
Welcome, thank you.
And as a reminder, everyone, Thursday's live stream will not be happening. It will be a Friday live stream, this Friday at noon, and we will send out our invitations like we normally do an hour ahead at that time. So thanks everyone for watching. If you like our content, please click the like button or click the subscribe button if you would like to be notified each time we come out with a new video or a new live stream. We just uploaded a new video for how to detect when you're being phished. There's 9 red flags that we came up with from our other live stream. So check that video out. Good tips on how to avoid compromising your account. And also thank you to our clients who make these live streams possible. Thank you.
Thank you.